Draw my gun from my cold dead hands. Okay.
Hey there, freedom fighters. I'm back with another one. Today's video is going to be about sheriffs. Well, recently I've been doing a lot of videos on police, and I hope you were able to watch the last couple videos I posted showing cops enforcing unconstitutional laws, which for some reason nobody seems to believe that they do. Well, I was showing it, but they took them down. So I got another strike on my channel, and this time it's not for breaking community guidelines or whatever. It's a copyright strike. And I'm not sure how I got that because I posted the credentials. I gave the people credit for who it was, who had the video, which was On Patrol Live. And I said what network it was on. It was on Reels. I gave them credit. And then I posted in the description, you know, the disclaimer that says, you know, this is for fair use for political commentary and discussion. So I guess that didn't seem to work out. I don't know how these other channels get away with posting videos and commenting on, you know, whatever, but it's almost like they don't want people shedding light on their crimes. You know, imagine that. But, you know, whenever I do those videos, or talk bad about police, have this conversation with people, the overwhelming answer I always get, because people are surprisingly waking up to that, you know, the police are bad and they're not on your side, but I always get the answer, but not the sheriffs. The sheriffs are the good guys, and we need more of them, and they don't do anything. Well, as you saw that opening clip, that was a guy running for sheriff, and I believe North Carolina or South Carolina, I forget the guy's name, and I don't believe that he won. But still, those are the people running for sheriff, and you don't think those people get in? And there's countless stories of other sheriffs doing stuff. I even think I have videos still up on my page of sheriffs confiscating guns and all that. So they do the same thing. But that was a guy running for sheriff, and he was in a Moms Demand Action video, conference or whatever in that video. And he's like, well, all these patriots are always saying, come and take it from my cold dead hands. Well, okay. See, they have no problem doing that. And like my video, Monopoly on Violence, they're fine with the violence as long as it's on their behalf. If they're the ones committing the violence, they're fine with it. And people think, oh, no, the sheriffs won't do it. Sure they will. They'll follow orders just like every other branch of everything else. People fail to realize that this country is conquered. We have been infiltrated at every position. I know I say this often, but I mean, they're in the military. They're in the police. They're the judges, the DAs, the lawyers, down to the teachers, the doctors. They're in your local churches. They are everywhere, and they want you dead. And their sole purpose is to take over this country, rip up and shred our Constitution, which they've already done, and take your freedoms and turn you into a slave, which we already are, man. We're already full into this process, and they've pretty much already enslaved us. There's only a couple more steps before the straight up rounding up into train cars. But, yeah, so there's that video, and the reason that I have this sheriff, you know, I'm using this as the background here, the Spokane County Sheriff video, is because usually when I hear this, Not Muh Sheriff, the two videos that always come to my mind are the one that I posted in the front, and then this second video, which I couldn't find. They they completely took it off the internet, which is pretty crazy. But it's from Spokane County, Washington, and there's a video of this lady. Well, there was a video. I wasn't able to find any video on it except for a news article back in 2014 where this lady's shopping at Walmart and there's an MRAP in front of it with a bunch of sheriffs. And they're showing off, their new militarized equipment because they're proud that they got an MRAP. They're proud with all their, stuff that they can enslave the citizens with, that they use your tax dollars for. And the lady goes, well, what is this? And they're like, oh, we're just, doing some kind of kid drive, and we're letting the kids, crawl around the MRAP and, show them what we're going to, bust through their house and kill their parents with. And then she's like, well, why do you have this? And his answer is, well, there's a lot of constitutionalists running around here. And, they're stacking guns and they got ammo and, we're the law. And so, they made it plain and clear. They're there for you. And people seem to refuse to believe it. I know they just want to keep telling themselves stories that, they're all on their side and, any day now the plan is going to come together and the police and the sheriffs and, they're going to come through and arrest the deep state, and then the military is going to hold tribunals and all that. It ain't going to happen. And I've seen it time and time again that these people are no different than the police, and they're going to follow orders. And I know someone always gets on me, and there was another video I did where I said something about sheriffs, and someone said something about their Polk County sheriff. That's all I really remember about the conversation. And what I said was, of course, there are good ones. And if you're living in like a rural mountain town and you've got a population of a couple hundred people and you've got a tight-knit community, you're out in the middle of the nowhere in the boonies or in the desert or wherever you happen to be, then I'm sure you have a decent sheriff department and stuff like that. But that's not 98% of America. They're not living in that reality out in the middle of nowhere. With the sheriff, the good old boy that they know that lives down the street. That's not the reality for most people. But, talking about these live PD videos and stuff that I've done, there's also a sheriff on there that, what's that guy's name, man? But from the day that I saw him, I knew this guy's going to be running for office or he's going to be some kind of politician. Sheriff Lamb, that's his name. And I want to say he's in Nevada or Arizona or something like that. That's what just reminded me of him when I talked about the desert. But, that dude, ever since I saw him on TV, he's taken every interview and gone on all kinds of shows, and he's clearly wants to be in the spotlight. And I said, I know this guy is going to be running for office. And, I tried to find this video earlier, too. But the one main video that I remember about him was he pulled into this park. And there was this lone car there. And he's like, yeah, people who usually park here are up to no good or something. And he pulls the guy out. And I think he was like drinking or no, he was smoking a joint or something. Or smoking a bowl. And he pulls him out. And he's like arresting him. And the guy's just like, man, I got off work. Or like, I'm just minding my business here. Like, I'm not doing anything. And he's like, no, but he's like, can you let me go? And good old Sheriff Lamb is like, no, I can't let you go. And he's like, man, I'm just like, hanging out here and smoking. He's like, yeah, but it's against the law. And I was like, there it is right there. And whether you're against smoking or not, or drinking, or if he was doing a DUI, of course that's not a good idea to do while you're driving. But the whole fact that he just comes out with, I'm the law, boy. This is how it works, and I just follow the law. It's always their excuse, right? I don't make the laws, I just enforce them. Well, what happens when the law is you can't have a 30-round magazine? What happens when they ban the quote-unquote assault weapons? You notice how, again, it's just, well, it's just the law. They always, and they have selective enforcement. I mean, I understand checking the guy out, making sure he's not, like, dealing fentanyl, or he's not, like, a most wanted whatever. But once you realize this guy got off work and he's trying to relax and, you know, he's puffing on his joint or whatever, I mean, leave the dude alone. But that's not what he chose to do. He chose to be the lawman, you know, and take them in. And, you know, back on the topic of these sheriffs, these constitutional sheriffs or whatever, I've been hearing a lot about this Sam Bushman and the constitutional sheriff thing that they're building or something. I haven't seen much on it, but I did hear about it. And that looks promising, but again, that's not going to fix the whole problem of corruption and everything in law enforcement and even in the sheriffs. What I looked at it as is they are going to create like a web of constitutional sheriffs that, again, are going to be in these rural towns across America and refuse unconstitutional laws, which is good. But again, that basically already happens. Because if you're living out in the country in the middle of nowhere, these people aren't going to mess with you in general. So that's not really going to solve stuff. So, I mean, yeah, pretty much let me know what you think, man. Are the sheriffs any different? Are you banking on the, you know, MUH Sheriff is going to come and save the day? And, you know, I've seen a lot lately, Ted Nugent, you know, talking about the sheriffs. And I remember an interview Ted was doing, Uncle Ted, which, you know, I might have to do a whole nother video on this, but, you know, he's a sheriff, or he got deputized as a sheriff. And, yeah, I should probably do a whole nother video on that, but let me know what you guys think about it. And, you know, I'll always catch you on the next one, and you know what I always say, we are on our own. No one's coming to save us, so get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.